Hello everyone, today I'll be showing you how to translate to eliminate certain terms in an equation. And we'll be translating the equation xy minus 5x plus 4y minus 4 equals 0. And we will be eliminating the first degree terms and writing our answer in terms of x prime and y prime. The first thing I'm going to do is write out our equations of translation, where x equals x prime plus h and y equals y prime plus k. So every time we see an x in this equation, we'll rewrite it as x prime plus h. And each time we see a y, we'll write y prime plus k. And here I'm just plugging in all of those values for x's and y's. And now we can start distributing. This first group here we'll use FOIL, where we multiply the first terms, then the outer, then the inner, then the last. And when you just have letters instead of numbers, you're just going to write them side by side, and it reads as x prime times y prime plus k times x prime, and so on and so on. So here I'm just going to distribute the 5 into those terms, and then I'll distribute the 4 in to those last terms there, and that negative 4 is just tagged on the end. At this point I made a mistake. I wrote plus 5h, it should be minus 5h. A negative 5 times a positive h will equal negative 5h. But I'll rewrite it at the end and everything will make sense. But this next step is called grouping. So I'm going to start off by looking for all the terms that have an x prime and a y prime, and there's just that one. So now I'm looking for terms that involve an x prime. So we found that one and that one. Okay? The next group we're looking for are all terms that include a y prime. And it's just that h term there and the plus 4 there. So all the other terms that involve an h, a k, or just a number, we'll consider those constants. And they'll add up to just one number in the end. But for now we're just grouping things together. Our x prime y prime term is all by itself, so we'll just leave it as is. And we're going to group all the other terms that involve an x prime together in parentheses. So we'll have k minus 5 on the inside of the parentheses and the x prime on the outside of the parentheses. And we're going to do the same thing for all of the y prime terms. So we'll have a plus h, and the h plus 4 will be on the inside of the parentheses and keep the y prime on the outside of the parentheses. Now all your constants just get grouped together in one big parentheses. In this next step, we'll set each of the first degree terms, which is the x prime and the y primes, equal to 0. Because we want to eliminate them. So we'll set k minus 5 equal to 0, and when we solve for k, we'll add 5 to both sides, where k equals 5. And do the same thing with h plus 4, and when you subtract 4 from both sides, you get h equals negative 4. Now we're going to plug in a k and h terms up above, so every time you see an h, you're going to plug in a negative 4, and this is where I realized my mistake. That should be a negative 5. And every time you see a k, plug in a 5. And when you do that, you should get 16. And now these terms are eliminated. We set them equal to 0. Now we'll just combine what we have left, which should be x prime, y prime plus 16. And there you have your translated equation where you eliminated your first degree terms. Thanks for watching, you guys. If you have any suggestions, please leave them in the comments.